welcome to the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. We just want you to just tune in on Facebook or YouTube and enjoy the show tonight. Yes. We're so blessed to have each and every one here in our audience and on our host table tonight. So I'm going to start with, to my left is my husband, Apostle Glenn Kirkwood. And we have our newest addition to the talk show, Kimberly. All right. And then we have to my right our special guest, Royetta Woodard. Yes. And then our other co-host, Linda, whom I call Lindy. All right. So tonight we have been blessed to have Sister Royetta with us tonight, and we're so excited to hear her story and everything. So we're going to allow her to tell her story tonight. And at the same time, if you're looking at the Facebook Live, please write your comments at the bottom of the screen, and we will try to get to your comment. And if you know someone, tell them to tune in to the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. We always like to start off with scripture because this is a Christian talk show, which we talk about things that people will not talk about. Because we as Christians, we go through a lot ourselves, and if there is a topic that you would like for us to challenge or talk about on the show, please send it in to me. Our scripture for tonight, the one that I prayed over and asked, which would be a good scripture for Sister Woodard, and this scripture came to mind, Philippians 1:6. Being confident of this very thing, that he which has begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. And since God has really been working in your life, Royetta, I think that scripture would be good for you. Amen. Because you have really started a good work, and we want to encourage you to stay with your poetry. We want to encourage you, whatever your ministry is leading you to do, go for it. Like I think that's what the slogan is, just do it. Just go out there and be bold with it. And so we're just so excited to have you on the show. And just a little bit about her. She's going to tell you some more stuff about her. But I was so impressed when I met her. It's been about, a year or two ago? It's been about a couple of years ago. And I was so impressed with her personality, first of all, because I love drawing people, and she was one. But just talking to her, I'm really impressed with you. I'm really impressed with you because she said that she was born and raised in Stop 6. Hey. All right, shout out to Stop 6.
Stop 6, Texas.
All right, Stop 6. Okay.
Love you, family.
She love y'all, family. She was dropped off at her great-grandmother's at an innocent age of 6 days old. And you know it's good to have grandparents.
Ooh, I had a praying grandmother.
A praying grandmother, girl.
That makes a lot of difference.
Doesn't it, though?
That makes a lot of difference.
A lot of difference when you got a good grandmother. Yes, and her grandmother was a what? Praying grandmother. Amen. And that helped her to be strong and not to give up. You know something about grandparents that nurture us and keep us where, you know, and they with that old folk sense and everything. And then not only this, the theme is going from prison to poetry. That's what God gave me today. And she okayed that because you're going to hear her story from her being in prison, and now she writes beautiful poetry, and she got her degree. But we're going to get on with her story right quick. So if you all have questions for Royetta, put them at the bottom of the screen, and then we're going to ask our panelists. Also, if y'all have a question, just stop her, because she said she wants to tell her story. So give it up for Sister Woodard tonight. So Royetta, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, my name is Royetta Diane. I like to throw that Diane because the Royetta sounds kind of, you know, strong, and then I throw that Diane in there. Royetta Diane Woodard. And as you said, I was born and raised in the projects, Calville Place Apartments. Stop 6, Texas.
Stop 6, Texas.
And my mom was young, and she did the only thing she knew to do. And for that, I thank her. She gave me to my great-grandmother, actually. So I was raised by my great-grandmother, and when she passed, then my grandmother, Mama Doris, you know, took over.
Okay.
But I was spoiled. You know, there was a lot of things that being brought up in the projects, you would think I was deprived of, but I wasn't. I had everything that I know I wanted. I ice skated for 6 years and was pretty good.
At what now?
6 ice skated for 6
You
years.
really?
Yes, I did.
Did you do that in the project?
Yeah, well, the tandem center. But that, I mean, you know, it's kind of, you know, because everybody was going to the skating rink, and here I was, the Jolly Time on Miller, and here I was making my way to the Tandy Center, you know,
wow.
And that in itself was different, you know.
Awesome.
And and I remember in school, I think where my trouble started, because my grandmother and my great-grandmother loved me. And like I said, my mom loved me because she did the only thing she knew to do.
Right.
But I wanted my mom. You know, I wanted my mom, and at the age of 11, I began to rebel. I began to, you know, be disobedient, and I'll never forget one time my cousins suggested we skip school. Well, of course, me being raised by my great-grandmother, I knew nothing about skipping.
I know that's right.
I knew truancy, but I didn't know skipping. And so my answer was, oh my God, no. I'm not skipping all the way to school. That's 12 blocks from here. So, you know, but I really wanted my mom, and in sixth grade.
What age did your mom come back into your life?
Well, she was in and out of my life because she was in and out of prison herself.
Okay. So she was in and out of prison.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, she was there. She was there, but she wasn't.
Okay.
And I think that
started your.
Yeah.
Okay, so you was really wanting your mom there, so you substituted other stuff?
I substituted.
Okay.
Being disobedient.
So it started at the age of 11?
11.
Okay.
And there was a teacher. And I don't know if I ever apologized to this teacher, but there was a teacher named Clara Hibbler that she taught science.
Okay.
And I acted horrible in this lady's class. Horrible. And I remember one time getting my report card, and it had an A and a U.
Unsatisfactory.
And I harassed this teacher so much.
She probably remember you to this day.
that I ended up going to a alternative school, and that's when they first started out. They had it was called Metro, and I was in 6th grade, and I was the youngest to ever go there. Yeah.
Really?
The youngest, and I was so young. I mean, they wanted to move me somewhere else because they felt like the kids were a bad influence, but I was there helping them with their work. So, you know, but and they wanted to put me out of school for the whole year. And Miss Hibbler, thank you, said no way. There's no way I can allow you to put this child out of school. You know, I just can't. So they started sending me to this place and that place, and it just continued on. And I would go to school, and they would deem that something was wrong with me or whatever, when it was just I wanted her love.
You wanted your mother's
I
love.
wanted my mother's love.
Okay, but you was a smart kid because you said when you got your report card, you had an
A
A
and a U.
and a U.
And you.
Absolutely.
So you was a smart child.
Very
but
smart.
You was looking for something
Mm-hmm.
that no one else could give you.
Right, absolutely.
But you
'Cause-
wanted your mom.
Yeah.
But my question is, your grandmother raised you, and your mom was in and out. So did your mom know how your grades were? Was your grandmother writing her in prison, letting her know what you was doing? And do you have any other sisters and brothers?
Oh yes, I have 3 other sisters. I am the oldest, and I have a little brother.
Okay.
And if I can just stop for a second and just maybe this will give you
Yeah, it's
and
your story.
others
This your story.
Yeah, this is you. Yeah.
You tell it.
still no emotions, no soft, gentle words like I love you, you're the apple of my eye.
Yeah.
You never voiced heart impenetrable as steel, eyes unseen, sightless to beauty, and your touch like the prickly points of a porcupine. I have no clear memories, no good recollect my mind, but I'm told by others that you are who you never were to me, you hypocrite. For the title you've carried, you kidnapped and held captive with middle fingers, unclenched them. Bonds that never had birth are dead. Hurt, pain, and misery was your feast. You devoured him too. So it was only probable that I would be infected with the image of you. Inherited dysfunctions far before my conception. I had no choice, for venom replaced the embryonic fluids that my tiny existence swam in. Incubated, I was nourished on what vileness passed your lips, absorbed the ugliness that was you, and still I suckled sweetly, but the umbilical cord had been severed long before it was cut, and it left me barren, unable to reproduce because of your hate. You never taught me ABCs or 1, 2, 3s, but I learned the opposite of what to be. And I have torn at my skin and ripped at my heart to not be you. Drank your venomous disease that I may spew the antidote. And still, I love you. For not to love would make me far worse than you never lived to be. So mama, yeah, I call you mama. I am your child, and you can live through me. For the curse is broken. The curse is broken.
Wow. Beautiful. I love your poetry. That was beautiful. Did you ever read that to her?
Never,
You never said that to her.
never.
Is your mom still alive?
Yes, she is.
Okay,
Well,
where's she?
hopefully, please tune in,
She
mother.
is.
So where's your mom now? So the audience will
She
know.
stays 3
Is she-
doors down from my church.
Okay,
Wow.
so and she stays 3 doors down from your church.
Yeah,
So
and people
well,
that...
how-
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
How did it affect your other brother, your other siblings? Where are they? Were they raised by your great grandma and your mom and your grandmother as well, or were they in other parts
Yeah,
of your family, extended family?
Yes, my little brother was raised by my sister up until he was like 8 or 9 years old, because my mom was incarcerated again. This time, she and I was incarcerated together. I did 10 years. She did 6.
Were you all at the same?
Yes, Lord,
You all at the same
yes.
penitentiary?
Yeah. for
Did you
a
see each other?
Yes, for a minute, and I had to do something about that because that just wasn't gonna work out.
It wasn't
I can only watch out for one person. You feel me? Yeah, that just you know.
So that didn't work
yeah,
out.
Nah, and if you're gonna start problems, you need to know how to fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
That's true.
prison is one place you don't need family. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
'Cause I can't have you back like that. So,
Right.
Oh,
but
okay.
yes, we were we got arrested together.
Okay.
But yeah, with my other siblings, my hope and prayer to them is that they love her.
Okay.
Just love her, because there's no room for there's no room for the dysfunctions to keep
Going
going on.
Yeah.
You know, and
Are they in church too, or?
no.
Okay.
But I'm the oldest, and then I have one. She and I, we are really, really close. We talk, you know,
Okay.
every day or whatever. And then I have two younger sisters, and
That's good.
we pretty much stay in contact. But, you know,
So you're really the only one that have connection with your mother right
Yeah.
now.
positive.
So
anyway.
how did your mom feel about that, though?
She's sick,
Okay.
you know, and I'm not saying that as, I'm not saying that, you know, she's sick.
Okay.
And there are times when a person can wallow in their mire for so long, it conforms to your body and it becomes comfortable.
Okay.
And she's comfortable
Where
in
she's at.
where she's at. And of course, I'm not in her head. I don't know what
Right,
she thinks.
right.
You know, I don't know.
Right.
When at night, I don't know who she cries out to, but I know that if I was in that state, I would be crying out to God.
Right.
Simple as that.
That,
you know,
yeah.
simple as that. That is what it is, and my hope and prayer is that one day I can go and pick her up and take her out to eat. Without, let me see. Understand what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I want to be able to spend time with her without God leading me to. Because if Royetta has to do it, Royetta is not.
Gonna do
Does that
it.
make sense?
Yeah.
So I want to be
Yes,
able
it
to, you
does.
know, just pull up and, you know, hey, get in the car, let me take you out to eat without waiting for God to, you know, or waiting for that moment when I feel guilty and it's time to, you know, go ahead and call because I know that's what God wants me to do. I want to be able to just do it, you know.
I would like to dig more into your story. Reason being that someone else may be experiencing the
Yes,
same
ma'am.
thing, and we want the audience to know that because
Right.
we see the way out. We know who you are today, but we want them to know that hey, if you're dealing with this and you want to have this intimate relationship with your mom, just because she's your mom, can you tell us a little bit more about when you made from A's to
Right.
Bonnie and Clyde? When you went from wanting to be an honor roll student, here you are doing ice skating when it wasn't popular for a beautiful black
Project.
child.
Yes, to
Girl
go
from
there,
project.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you couldn't do bounce, roll, and skate with ice
Right.
skates, could you?
Right.
You know
Oh,
the
and I
song
took-
we used to play, bounce, roll, skate.
Yeah, yeah.
But could you do that at the ice skating rink?
Yeah, could I flip and turn?
Ooh.
Oh yes, I could. I had my own. I
And you
had
could do the songs that we used to do at the
We used to
roller rink.
dance off of Macho Man. They
Oh,
would
yeah.
clean,
Oh,
they would clean
yeah.
the ice,
Right.
and when they clean the ice, it's fresh. There's no
Right.
scrape marks, and it's
Right.
just smooth. And I had my little outfit on,
Yes,
you know,
those
my
are
little
cute.
Wilsons, and they would go out there and clean the ice, and I'd put on my little guards and walk around the Tandy Center in my skates and stuff.
And it was cold in there, wasn't it?
What you
Yeah,
good.
you
You
used
out
to
there
that.
working
It
and
was nice,
swirling.
though.
Yeah, when I ran away from home, that's why I ran to the ice skating rink.
Who introduced you to ice skating?
My uncle.
Okay.
My uncle did. My uncle, he ice skated and roller skated.
Awesome.
And
So you was really a blessed baby.
You sure
still
were.
had a lot of family that was there for you to help you make it
yeah.
and stuff. So from the age of 11 and how did you do in high school then? What you know?
I skipped school. I
You did what?
didn't go.
Okay.
I dropped out in 10th grade, and from there it was caught my first major case when I was 17.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it was June 8th, 3 days after my 17th birthday, and I took a car. Didn't even know how to drive. You know, I just got my license 2 years ago. Took a
Yeah,
car.
she just got a license.
And because the car wouldn't run like I wanted it to run, I smashed it into a pole across the street from my grandmother's apartment. And let me back up. My great grandmother passed when I was 15.
Okay.
And my grandmother, she stepped in and she tried to do what she could, and but by then I was
Gone. You just.
I was gone. I was.
So for my young people, you said you caught your first case major one at 17. So if you got the first major one at 17, what happened? You had like some minor ones in between there somewhere?
Yeah, a few vandalism cases when I
Okay.
was a teenager. I believe I want to say shoplifting, but I've never been much of a thief. You know, if I was gonna take something, you know it. But
That's not a thief.
yeah, right.
That's not a thief, but you ain't gonna tell it.
Don't tell yourself.
Yeah, but yeah.
So do you think this was rebelling to get your mom's attention, or you just saw her like
Just
the one to
angry.
emulate that as well?
I think that
bad
may,
girl,
yeah.
bad
both,
girl.
I think
Could've
that
been it.
may have been a little bit of both. I wanted her attention, and I wanted to, you know, well, if I can't get her love, then I can be like her. And maybe in that sense, that would
can
draw
get
me
her love.
Close
closer
to
to
her, yeah.
or whatever. Because after all, at the end of the day, we did end up in the same prison cell together.
But did she know what you was doing? Because, or was she incarcerated at the
She
time?
was during that time, like I said, she was in and out of prison.
Right.
And if she knew, I have no idea. You know, if
Because
she.
I was wondering if she knew what you was doing.
Well,
you know,
of course she knew, because once she got out, or once we were in the presence of one another, she knew enough to judge
to
me
you?
and talk bad to me and
Oh,
stuff.
so when
you
she
know.
would get in front, she would just
Yeah,
go off
you
on
know,
you and
so-
make you really look
right.
bad.
So
okay, so she
Okay.
wouldn't talk to you like a mother
oh,
talks to a
absolutely
daughter.
not. Oh no, no.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like, baby,
No,
I've
oh,
been down this
no.
road.
Don't
and
go down this
Don't go down this road
No.
again.
Don't go down this
no.
road.
So about what
No.
age was this? Just for our young
17?
people. 17.
17.
Okay.
17, because like I said, I went to jail, and thank God I had somebody that they came and got me out, but I ended up on probation,
Okay.
Oh, God.
and I ended up on probation, and then Lord have mercy, thank you Jesus, went to prison. I went to prison for the first time at 19.
Okay.
And I was there because I violated my parole,
Okay.
my probation.
Probation.
And ended up on, so I got caught selling drugs and ended up in prison.
While you was on probation.
While I was on probation, yes.
Oh, okay. You
I caught a drug case.
caught a drug case.
And ended up going to prison. And I was there for maybe 6 or 7 months. And while I was there, I was like, this is never going to happen again.
Did it scare you though? Did it scare you in a way?
It most definitely scared me, but from listening to all the older convicts and
kids.
stuff,
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna be there that
Right.
long.
Okay.
And they put me on this little baby unit.
So you was in
okay.
safety?
No, I've never
You
been.
didn't go to safety?
My behavior was too bad.
Okay.
Okay.
So
What was
anyway,
you gonna ask? What was you
Anyway.
about to ask?
You know when I listened to you talk, it sounded like a lot of pressure, you know, that's on that you were in, and a lot of times what we experience kind of makes us bitter and better. The two, you see what I'm saying? So there's a time between the two when it started into it, and then a time when you start actually being better. Feeling better, you see what I'm saying? But it became the norm. Like some of the things what you're talking about, to me, that it becomes,
Yeah.
so, you know, like breaking the parole and all that. That it probably wouldn't even bother you because it was just the norm.
I mean-
yeah. So where did you get, you know, better and it better and better when it started actually start changing and that?
first of all, let me just say this: bitter, better, new, old. I never thought about stuff like this growing
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Because for one, I had to protect my little sister.
Okay.
You know, I had to protect her for whatever, from when I did see my mom. You know, at one time it was, we were like little packages, if I may
Yeah.
put it like
Yeah.
that. And I had to protect my little sister to make sure she didn't get unwrapped.
Okay.
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 So with that being said, I never thought about where I would be, where I was going. I never looked in the mirror. None of this stuff that is happening to me in my life right now is far beyond anything I even imagined.
Yes.
You know, when I'm standing in the choir stand and singing
Yes.
to God,
Yes.
I'm like, dear God, I could be anywhere else but here. And so I started getting better when I was in prison.
Okay.
When I remember writing my grandmother and telling her, you know, I just want you there when I get home. You know, I'm gonna be the granddaughter that you know I can be.
Yes.
You know, and my prayer to God every night, no matter if I had a shank fight on the unit that night, that morning, that night I was praying to God, dear God, please let my grandmother be there when I get home.
So did your grandmother introduce Christ to you? Because you I know you talked about you was in prison, but you knew Christ before you
went
to prison, right?
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So you already knew about Christ. So it wasn't nothing new. When you know, sometimes they said they find Christianity in there, but you already knew about Christ before you got there.
Yeah, I was raised. My great grandmother, and she was Church of Christ.
Okay.
And
You knew you was gonna go to hell.
Oh, you knew
Yeah.
you was going there because
Yeah.
you knew that.
Yeah, Bible study, vacation Bible school, all the whole, yes.
Yes.
You had already asked Jesus, what say, believe in your heart, confess with your mouth, before you went in, and God raised Jesus from the dead, before you went in.
Before I
So
went
you were
in.
like a teenager then.
Yeah,
You were like
you knew
15,
Christ
16,
then.
Oh,
Right?
I mean,
and the
I was
reason
baptized when I was 8. And and when he asked me that I believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins, yes, I did.
And I try to clarify that because some people think just because I know him and I'm in church, until you believe in your heart and you confess with your mouth, you're just sitting there like that.
Yeah,
You're just sitting in there.
Because it's not like a tradition. I'm just going to church.
I go to church, so I know. But have you asked Jesus?
Do you know him for
And do you
yourself?
believe in your heart and
Yeah, I
confess
see
with
what
your
you're
mouth? So
saying.
that's why I asked.
Yeah, I like that. Yes.
And you know, even when I was being rebellious, you know, once you've been poked by God,
Come on now.
you will never, ever
Right.
be successful in crime. Never.
So you knew
Never.
when you was messing up,
She
you
said
got
you'll never be
convicted, right?
I knew
But
it.
you knew you was wrong.
I wasn't
and
mad
you
at the
just kept
system.
on doing it.
Yeah, I kept on doing it.
See? So that lets you know
on
you all
doing
you
it.
can be a Christian and you
I
can
kept
still
on
what?
doing it.
The grace
Kept on
is-
doing
But
it.
it's the grace of God that convicted you,
Right.
and you still went on
And
anyway.
still went on.
But
And
when you got into prison, tell us about how did that affect you when you actually were you in there with the big
Yeah.
boys? I mean big girls this time, right?
well, it all started when I here I am. They arrested us. Me and my mom together. We busted together.
Busted together.
I had secret indictments. I didn't know I had secret indictments. I knew that the parole people were looking for me. Well, that was no problem. Hey, I can go do that 2 years and be back out, have a
So
little money
what
saved
does
up.
secret indictment mean?
Yeah,
What's
That's
that?
when you sell to an undercover. A person, he comes dressed up just like.
Oh, he was an undercover
Yeah.
person and you didn't know.
He was one of my best customers.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay, see, this is something need to be brought out too. Okay,
Yes,
so
come on
this
with
was
it,
an
come on with
undercover, cop. And you were selling drugs to
Right,
him. And
right.
see, young people, you all
Yeah.
need to know this because, see, that's how the devil can be in disguise. And he comes in undercover and selling this stuff. And you
Yeah.
didn't know it. He was one of your best
One of my
customers.
best
And you
customers.
didn't know he was building
Build-
up a case.
building a case against me.
Wow.
Building up
Nah.
against me.
Go
And they
ahead.
do it.
Uh-huh.
They do it.
Giving them money to go spend. She's selling.
No, I'm selling him drugs.
You know, she said
Selling
him the
them,
drugs.
but you get the money.
Yeah.
And you.
And he
Wow.
take my money. The money that he's giving me is marked.
Right.
You know, it's
So he
marked.
got
Or
evidence.
he has a camera
Yeah.
on him or something. He's
And
taking
everything.
All
So
that.
how long
Yeah.
did this go on that you was undercover? You was
long
un-
enough for him to get 3 indictments out of me.
Wow.
They got 3
Wow.
indictments.
Wow.
So that was
And,
close to a year.
Yeah.
So you were happy to see him when your
Yeah,
best
so you
cousin
know,
was
yeah.
coming
Yeah.
in.
So,
Come on.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
he built up
And
trust.
then- and-
He
and-
built
and-
up trust.
Isn't that
Trust
something
with
the
that.
devil does?
Yeah.
Doesn't the
build
devil do
up
that?
Trust.
and-
Trust.
and-
Make you
and-
feel good.
And see, the
Yes.
devil he's even more cunning because he
Yes.
can get in there now and sit down with you and take a puff of it or whatever. Take a hit of
It's
it,
just like
blow
on
it
real
out.
TV.
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yeah.
Did he
Wow.
use with you?
He never used me because I wasn't. If
You
I
wasn't a
used-
user.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
used.
you don't
I
use your
used.
stuff.
No, I used.
Oh,
Now,
you
hey,
did?
I
Okay.
used.
Oh,
I-
you were using
I
it
used,
too.
I used
Gotta make
to.
sure the product
I
is
used
good.
to.
Right,
I
right.
used to. So we're not gonna try to pretend.
Right.
or
Okay, so
play.
what was you using?
I smoked crack.
Okay,
Right.
crack. Okay.
Well, so
But he
so I
never did
judge
it with
matches
you.
Now.
He
No,
never
he
did
never
it with
did.
you.
He never did it with me because first of all,
Okay.
I wouldn't have never allowed him to see me do that.
Okay, good.
Right.
Because you were
Because-
smart
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
I wouldn't have
Right.
never allowed
Okay.
allowed him to see me
Right.
do that.
Because you didn't
honestly
trust him or
interesting.
what? Why you
This is
wouldn't?
it.
Yeah, because
It is
first of all,
interesting. She needs
um,
some shows.
Was it
when
because
I got
you
ready,
didn't trust him?
No,
or-
because but when I got ready to get high, I was ready to get high. I wasn't for to sell nothing, do nothing. I was
When
shutting
you
it
high
down.
by
Mixed
yourself?
business and
Yeah,
pleasure.
she
mean,
was
when
shutting
I-
it down.
We shutting it down.
Mixed
Wait a minute,
business and
Sister Linda,
pleasure.
how you
Yes.
know all
We
this
shut,
stuff?
we shut
I
it
know that's why I'm
down.
trying to figure out how Linda knows. Linda.
Wait a minute, we might have a person up here that's been secret on the cover and ain't telling us about
You
what's
know
going on.
that
Linda, wait a minute.
commercial where this little
What?
I'll be licking how many licks it takes to get to the Tootsie
Tootsie
Roll.
Roll, uh-huh.
The world will never know.
Oh, so but you keep throwing out those hits, Kim.
I know
We
she-
might
I'm telling
have
Linda,
on
you-
the cover up
wait a
here.
minute. So that was about a
Okay.
year. It took about 3 years.
Go
I
ahead.
think it took about a year to get
That's
3
good.
indictments.
Yeah,
Okay, Linda.
So
Wow.
he was building a case, and
That is scary.
they came in on us, and like I said, I just knew nothing about these secret indictments, so I was like, cool. First, I thought we were being robbed.
Oh, okay, when they came in
Yeah,
to bust
because
you.
they were hitting and breaking out windows. I must say
God.
those apartments in the projects are pretty sturdy.
Yes, they are.
Yes. very much so.
I think we got her on the cover up here.
Linda, you need to be down there with you.
Sometime, you know, I had my little sister and my baby brother. I had a 9-month-old baby brother in there, and it took them some time. So while people were trying to, adjust to what was going on, because we still didn't know what was going on.
Going on.
People was hiding stuff.
Okay.
And I thought about it. I said, no. I said, we're being robbed. I said, so don't make them have to come in here and look for it, because we got these babies in here. And I hid my little brother and my little sister. And then when I finally realized that we were being raided,
Wow.
I got my little sister and my little brother, and I had them in my lap, and I sat there, and I just took a deep breath.
Because you knew it was going down.
Yeah.
But you didn't
But
know
I
if they
had-
was gonna come in shooting or anything.
I had no idea.
Okay, so while you sitting there, did the undercover cop come in?
yeah, they came in
And what
and
did you
busted
do when you actually saw him
That it
walk
was
in the
him,
door?
the one that
Did you
was
know
your-
he was a cop then?
Yeah, that
So
was-
how did you feel when
When
he
you saw
I was
that.
ready.
I mean, you didn't get angry and say,
You with
"Hey,
your
I
best
can't
customer.
believe this."
Yeah,
This-
you're my best
You didn't
customer.
say nothing to him.
That's part of collateral damage.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
No, I wasn't upset. I wasn't.
But then it hit you.
The one time I got upset is when the lady from Channel 4 or 5 News or whichever one had the microphone in my face, and she wanted
So
to
they
know.
was there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was the weed and seed is what they called it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
And
was on
Linda,
television.
Yeah. And see, my grandmother,
She's about, yeah.
was
That's on the cover.
my grandmother my grandmother was an alcohol and drug abuse counselor, and she had an office in the apartments. So they sent her away to do a meeting or something. They sent her away when
So
they conducted.
they didn't want her to know what was going on, that they was getting ready
Yeah,
to
because
arrest
she
the
had nothing to
granddaughter.
do with this.
Right.
you
Wow.
know,
Which is
so-
good.
Yeah.
Very
but
good.
so they,
So what happened to your your
My-
sister and brother?
my sister, which she was, Tata was 17 maybe, 18.
Okay, so she was a big girl.
Yeah,
then.
she got my little brother and my little sister, and she took care of them.
Okay.
And
that's
she,
good.
yeah.
That's
But
So was your mom there too?
yeah, she was there.
So both y'all got hauled off.
hauled off is the right word.
Were they rough with you guys?
No, they wasn't rough. They wasn't
She
rough.
said
I
they
mean, they wasn't rough. Wasn't no need to be rough.
Rough?
I'm guilty. And, you know, like I said, I knew I was wanted for my parole violation.
So you was on probation
Okay,
and parole.
I was on.
No,
I was on probation
probation, she
for
said.
the car.
Right.
For stealing the car. Or
Right.
taking the car.
Uh-huh.
And I caught a dope case, a drug
Okay.
case, and I ended up going to prison.
Okay. and
I
you-
got out
and
of
you was on
prison.
parole.
I was on parole.
Wow. Right.
So now I'm selling drugs on parole.
So you were paying 2 fees.
I wasn't paying nothing.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Nothing, honey.
I mean, because you know.
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean it like that, but I mean,
Yeah, I
it's the
understand.
truth. I you know,
Yeah.
I stopped
Oh, my.
reporting, and hey,
So you was just having, you was
You
just
just
on
doing
the
your own
road.
thing.
yeah, I was just on the road.
Okay, so now you've been taken to the prison.
and we go to jail, and of course I have a no bond, which is
Lord.
which is
You
you
can't
can't
get
get out. You
Oh,
can't
so
get
you,
out.
couldn't nobody even go down there and bond you out?
I couldn't get
Oh,
out.
you was just stuck there.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's
she was
so
stuck.
I knew about that. So I'm like, okay,
She
cool.
said she knew about that.
I knew I was gonna have that. That's
Yeah.
but you can work your way and have somebody pay to get that lifted and go through some
Right.
paperwork and all this other stuff. So
But
I
it's
knew-
a waste of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It truly
yeah.
is.
Really,
See,
yeah.
Linda
We should
know
be
all that
interviewing
stuff.
Linda.
Go on,
Glad
Linda.
you heard.
Linda-
Right.
Undercover boss up here.
So anyway, so I couldn't get out,
Okay.
and then they pulled me back out. They pulled me back out the cell and put me in another cell by myself. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And that's when I started singing, "Oh Lord, my God."
We sure know how to call on it though.
I started singing.
That was my brother's favorite.
And I told you, I'm Church of Christ by heart, born and raised.
You can sing without the music.
Daddy down at the cross.
What other song would you sing?
Yield not to temptation. I should have sing that at first.
Yeah, you
Yeah, so I'm
And they
saying-
probably looking at you like,
and
what?
they pulled me out.
Uh-huh. Was it because you're singing?
I wish
She
it was.
wish it was
They
over
pulled
there.
me out, and I said, "Where am I going? Am I going upstairs now?" They said, "No, you got to go see the judge." And I said, "Well, I just seen him with the group of people that I come in with." They said, "No, you need to see him again." I went back up there. And, well,
My God.
you know about the whole. You know? Well, we have one count of possession with the intent to deliver. I'm like, huh? And I'm thinking, okay, and I'm thinking in my head, I can deal with this. Okay, possession, anytime they come in and do something like that, they gonna find something, okay, I can deal with that, okay. Then they pulled me out again, and
Again?
again, and again.
Did you sing it? Did you keep singing?
By the end.
All the
What was the
hymns
last
gone.
song? I surrender all.
He sang all the hymns.
I thought about. I can't even remember where it's from. But I thought about call upon him in the day of trouble, and he shall deliver you, and you shall glorify him. I said, oh Lord, woo! And all kind of things started happening with my. So they finally 2 days later, they finally shoot me up to a tank, and when I get in there. It's I know all these people, you know, because some of them was my customers, some of them was my party mates, some of them was, people I knew.
Did you ever watch that show, Black is the New Orange? Orange is the New Black? Oh, okay.
That's cable, right?
Yeah, that's
So I walk in, they had my mom's in there, and I walk in there, and I'll never forget. I walk in there.
when she said, hey, baby.
I don't, she didn't say that. What took you so long? I walked in there and I remember my shoulders was up and I was standing because I was Royetta, you know.
You know, you brought letter, yeah.
And she said, what took you so long? And I just dropped to my knees. Oh, God, I got secret indictments. She said, huh? Now here's the person.
What she said, this is your mom.
This is my mom. She said,
Now
what?
you coming in that bowl.
I'm bold.
Did she come
bold.
in bold?
Yeah,
I'm
she
bold.
come in
I
that
tried to
bold.
hold it up hard. I tried to hold it
tried
up.
to be
I
the
did.
person,
But when
huh?
I secret indictments, this is something I'm talking about. I'm not no kingpin. You know, I really, a person don't want to claim drug addiction or brag about it. When I started talking, but I'm just a dope smoker. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm not trying to drive around no Ferraris. I'm just trying to support my head. Baby, they weren't trying to hear that.
They was trying.
They weren't trying to hear none of that.
That didn't work.
So I get to talking to people. So I've been in jail for a while. So I know I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I want to know how much they know and that bond. They had a bond and a no bond. Who does that?
People that want money but know that you're not getting out.
My bond, I had a $180,000 bond and a no bond.
Whoa.
So I knew then.
You were gone.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But never in a million years did I think I was going to get a 20-year sentence. And never would I have thought I would have, even with a 20-year sentence, you don't do then you didn't do but 2-3 years. And then you could get out on in good, with good behavior. But that didn't happen. So
You served the entire.
I served 10 years in prison and then 10 years out.
Did you ever feel like you were in the belly of the whale?
Yeah.
That God was trying to tell you, look, I gave you chance after chance to sit your behind down. So now we're going to just hold you right here till you get this out of you.
Yeah, because I stopped praying to go home. And I just started saying, Lord, have your way. And I started hearing
But
about.
did you get closer to the Lord while you was in there?
Yes. I remember.
Excuse me?
Okay, so we get our sentences. We go to prison.
How much did your mom get?
She got 20. She got 20 years too. She got 20 years too.
Did she do the whole 20?
No, she only did 6.
Oh, she did 6.
She only did 6, and then but she got out with good behavior, but she still did 6 because of her prior convictions and stuff,
okay.
But
So was yours because of good behavior?
no, absolutely not.
Yours wasn't.
No.
She holding steady. She holding firm. Jesus, I'm holding
said
firm.
no.
Jesus, I'm holding firm.
So while I was in jail, I was getting all this. While I was in jail, I was getting all this information because I knew that I was going to be there longer than the time I was there before, and so a lot of the older inmates were saying, "Well, honey, you need to get in school because they're gonna have you on that whole squad." That's where they work in the field. Oh my goodness, they're gonna have you on that whole squad. So try to get your GED or something, and that way you don't have to work
Go
that
out
way.
there.
So I
That was
signed
good
up.
advice.
I signed up to get my GED because I didn't want to go down there and do all that work they was talking about.
You know what a whole squad
Oh,
is, right?
absolutely.
Look,
Miss
yeah.
Linda, can you
Look,
fill
Linda,
us
can you
in?
tell us what that is?
Linda, can you fill us in on the
It's
whole
where
squad?
you go and you chopping cotton.
You work in the field.
You working in the fields, and if you get out of step,
you-
you're gonna be in trouble. So
Yeah.
you have to hold. You have a rhythm to
Yeah.
the horn, the whole squad.
To the horn.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's
Yeah.
correct.
I think she's undercover.
Yeah.
No,
She
Step
sure
beside
know
her.
a lot, doesn't she?
She's absolutely
no,
right.
but she was not getting in the whole squad because I mean,
So,
you out there from sun up to
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Linda done
Linda,
told us
yeah,
some
Linda ain't
time.
told
She
us
ain't telling
everything.
us.
With her cute self
So
there.
I went ahead and signed up for GED.
GED.
That's
and,
good. Because you were already an honor roll student.
Yeah.
Right, so that should have
That
been
was-
easy
yeah,
for
that
you.
was-
Yeah, and pay. I wasn't trying to pay. I just wanted to get enrolled and start taking classes. So when I pulled chain, when they transported me to prison, then I would be in school there. But
Okay.
the night I pulled chain is the same night I got my GED, my paper saying I passed my GED.
Wow.
test.
Oh, wow. That was awesome.
That is
That was awesome.
Yes, but
Yes,
at
that
the time,
was awesome.
I'm
So
like,
when did your writing start in? Because that was actually your gift.
okay,
Yeah.
well, like as I was telling, I was telling earlier, I would write letters for women in prison that couldn't write. And at one time, you may remember back in 90, 93, 94, 95, they had this scam going, this scam where there was a lot of, well, let me back up, because I can't really say it was a scam, because these men were writing these women,
Okay.
you know, and whatever they was getting from it, they was paying these women. They was paying these women money for whatever. Some of them thought that they were going to get married.
Right.
You know.
Were
and,
these men outside of the
yes,
prison?
yes.
Oh, they was
yes,
outside of
yes,
prison writing to people,
yes,
women in the
proxy.
prison.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Get married by
Proxy.
proxy. Yeah, did you ever
Yeah.
hear when the girl that hit for the $7 million?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know about
yeah.
they was getting
They
married
was
for
getting married by
by
proxy,
proxy.
and
Oh.
sometimes they were marrying black women.
Did
They were
they
white.
know who they was
That's what
marrying?
I'm saying. So
Wow.
what can we say about those people that were marrying these women without even
Knowing
them? They was writing them. They was marrying them from what they read.
Writing the letters and stuff.
Yes, and I
You
know
knew
that
about
for a
that too,
fact.
Linda, you know
Yeah,
about
they
that?
be studying. Yes, I knew about that one.
Wow.
Proxy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I worked for VOA and
Oh,
we had-
really? My grandmother
Yeah.
worked for Doris Woodard.
Oh, I know Doris.
That's my grandmother.
okay.
Mama Doris? Yes,
Look
ma'am.
at you. Now Linda know everybody. So now you know Doris, huh, Linda? I
Yes.
think we're going to have to have Linda on the
But,
show.
getting back to the proxy,
Okay, get back to the process.
it's just people that they write letters and then they start like she said they start and then they want to marry, so they have someone stand inside.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
them.
How do they know who to write to in the prison?
They have lists.
They have a list.
They have
Who
a list.
these men outside of prison
Yeah, they
have
have
a
a
list?
whole, like a
Where they
newspaper.
get the list
I don't
from?
know how they got the
It's
list.
list.
Nah,
It's
I
all
don't know where they
really?
get the list from.
Golly, so they would write these women, they get a list, and they just write these women, and these women get excited. So you would
The
write the
men was
letters
getting
from,
excited because
because you was writing these nice letters.
So you was
Yeah,
writing those
I was
nice
writing
Were they
letters.
sexual letters or
They was
love
what-
letters?
Yeah,
or,
they
Well,
were
they was
good.
oh, you was
She
writing
said
some
they
good
was
letters. So you would write, she would write some good
were
letters.
good.
So you was really turning these men on, and they didn't know it was coming from somebody else writing.
And some of these women didn't even know how
Well,
to
did they
write.
pay you to write them?
yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
But tell them how they paid you.
okay, how
Oh,
did
in
they pay you?
commissary. They
It's
paid in
commissary. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have Linda
Yeah,
on the
we
show.
have
She already know.
But I
So a
made,
letter popped up in Playboys.
That's awesome. Probably did, shoot.
I made commissary pretty well. I
Yeah.
made, so I just would, had them
So
give
you
me
was pretty
stamps or
rich in there,
whatever.
huh?
Yeah.
Honestly, I was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, for real,
Yeah.
I was good. The only time I didn't make store is if I was on commissary restriction, and I stayed on that for about 2 years.
Now, what was commissary
And I
restriction?
couldn't go to the store.
Linda.
Oh,
yeah,
you did something that
She
they
couldn't
wouldn't
buy
let you-
anything off the
Okay.
I
commissary.
couldn't. I've been in segregation.
She couldn't buy anything.
I couldn't buy nothing but
Look,
stamps and
look, look.
deodorant every 30 days.
Oh,
That's
really?
right.
Wow. So how did you,
You are a survivor.
yeah, I can tell.
You know, truly, you are a survivor because although you've been to prison and this, but you are a survivor. Thank you. You are lit, and then you putting this out here now where the enemy can't attack you anymore.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
But
blackmail you.
he's gonna try.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah.
gonna try.
Oh, yeah.
But you are a true survivor.
I'd like to say the grace of God has been on her life since she
Yes.
Yes, it
accepted him.
Yes.
Right.
And although she went her way, he said,
Wow.
I'll never leave you nor forsake
Never.
you.
That's it.
He said,
Never.
you're sealed into the day of redemption.
Right.
So along with what you said,
Right.
she gave her life to Christ at an early age,
Right.
accepted Jesus in her heart.
Yes.
And
Knew I
although
wasn't gonna be a
she's
successful
You know, 8 years old,
criminal.
it's you can't find that many young kids know Jesus. But
Right.
8 years old, she accepted him.
and he was protecting
Yeah.
her.
And he
along the
stayed with
way.
her.
Right.
I believe that. I believe
Yeah, because
that.
you had to.
Yeah.
I believe
Because look
that.
at all the stuff. And then, so from that, from your writing, how did the poetry come in?
Yeah.
Were you writing poetry while you was in prison?
Yeah, like I said, I would write just little stuff. I would write stuff and send it to my grandmother. And I remember this. I found this.
Dear
Well, I found the
diary.
old one. I found the old one, and I rewrote it.
Uh-huh.
This was something that I had written to my grandmother,
Okay.
and it just said, "Dear diary, many times I've counted the cracks in my soul, yet I cannot remember the count. So inside a mind that's full, yet vacant, how do you describe pain that's ever present when it doesn't hurt that much anymore? Yes, it does. All the time.
Wow.
It's the norm. How do I nurse the old wounds that have toughened and opened anew? Scrapes and scratches to my inner self that weren't tended to now fester. Cries that went unheard, now silent screams of whispers. My heart beats, but distant sounds of laughter brings no familiarity. This mind wanders too fast for thoughts to catch up with. But in my gibberish, there's a plethora of misunderstood, made clear, misunderstandings made clear. And even in my massive accumulation, I am confident and able to extract that if I can, in all my cans, then I am of use to God and his perfection.
Wow.
That is.
I love your poetry.
That is beautiful.
Because it just, it's talk about you and your experiences, you know. And not only this, you all, coming from prison to poetry, this woman of God received her, where is your diploma? I mean, she's just a strong, survivor. She has her Tarrant County College social art degree that she just got, when was this? August of 2018. So she did not stop from, going. She has such a success story. Now she's no longer on parole, and she's living her life and still writing her poetry. And this is the reason why I love meeting people.
Amen.
Because she has a story that nobody would tell. A lot of people don't even want to share that they ever experienced prison. And it's not that we either, any of us up here could have gotten caught and gone to prison.
Right.
But God used you to be an example for other people. What would you share
saved
with
my
them?
life.
Yes.
It saved
What would
my
you
life.
tell a young person that's out there that's rebellious, that skipped school and did some of the stuff that you did? What would you tell them today?
Well, I just want to say, truly, that everybody don't get the luxury of going to prison and being saved. And I said it like that because people are being wiped out right now just for, wearing the wrong type of clothing. So you must trust God.
Yes.
First and foremost, trust God and stay in school. And I think both of them go hand in hand, and this is what I want to say, because when I was in elementary and pre-K and all that, we prayed, and when they stopped, when they took prayer out of the schools, it started. There was there's a problem.
Effect.
Yeah. And you need to stay in school, be obedient, because people are not just telling you this stuff just to hear themselves.
Right.
I'm not telling you to stay in school because that's the thing to say. I'm in college now, struggling, and I say that proudly, struggling for a master's degree.
All right. Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, if you want to be a gangster, stay in school, get your education. That's probably the most educated thing I can tell.
Be a gangster for education.
Absolutely.
Get it, because that piece of paper will help you.
Amen.
Walk down them hallways with a backpack full of books instead of a pocket full of drugs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Going to that cafeteria ready to get one of those submarine sandwiches and a cold drink instead of hanging on the cut trying to smoke
weed
drugs,
and
whatever.
all
Let me
that.
tell you something. You think that you're just standing around smoking pot. It leads to more things.
Okay.
Right.
Good
So
point.
but like I said, I had a praying grandmother, and that is where it stems from. Mothers, love your children.
Good point.
Love your children.
Love your children.
I saw something the other day that almost made me get involved in a negative manner.
Okay.
This woman was having a disagreement with another parent behind something that the children did. And the kids were all out. Beautiful day. And this one lady was saying to his mother, your kid is always doing stuff. He's always into stuff. So the other lady was talking, you know, loud. I'm like, baby, don't do that. You know, you got these kids watching. That's why them kids act like that.
Act like that. You're right.
So this woman went on to say, she said, you know, I don't have time for this. I work hard every day. This woman turned around and dropped it like it was hot and stored. I don't know what they call it. They call it
twerking.
That's it. Oh my
Twerking.
God.
What you know about
She
this?
started twerking. I tried to
guys,
it didn't
you
work
guys,
for me.
You guys, you know,
Wow.
that was, you know, we are so quick to say we gotta watch out for these people going into these schools
That's
with
right.
these guns. We have to watch these people that are coming into the churches and going into the malls and shooting people. You gotta watch these parents
Right.
Right.
that are mass killing children with their behavior.
That's
yes,
good.
yes,
That's good.
yes.
I mean, my God,
That's
this
good.
lady turned around and started I call it pop locking it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did she do that?
I have no idea.
Was she mad at the other woman, call herself getting back at her or something?
How can you get back with a response like that? That's just
Yeah.
like you're telling me I don't like that shirt you got on, and me pulling out a gun and shooting you.
Right.
Right.
What? Anyway, stay in school and
Wow.
You know, this has been so good because
yes, it has. This
we
very
need to, and this is
interesting.
what I love about the talk show. We bring people on that are real, that don't mind sharing their story
Right.
and everything. But this is something that all of us can learn from, is how Jesus can come into our life and make a change.
Right.
And I can see that he made an awesome change.
Awesome.
So what are you
Amen.
doing now with your life?
well, I am taking these communication classes at Tarleton State University.
There you going on with it. Yes.
I
Good
have
university.
a 2,500 word paper due tomorrow. I think
Wow.
I'm at 1,000.
Wow.
I have 2 more projects due in the next week, and you know, I don't want to sit up here and pretend like this is easy,
No, it's not.
because it's not.
Right.
There have been nights I have cried myself to sleep because I just could not understand what was going on.
Oh,
And the reason why I began to cry now is because you have to understand, I should know a lot of this stuff. But about 2 years ago, I started having seizures.
oh, okay.
And some may wonder why, you know, I've lost a little weight. It's not because I'm trying, because I think thick is in. I love thick. You know, and these doctors telling, you know, excuse me, black women that we need to be 120. The devil is a lie. But I started having these seizures. And thank God I have no growth going on, no growth
Yeah, praise
or
God.
anything, but the doctors see considerable slowage.
Okay.
And that's why I'm not going to stop doing
What you doing?
what I'm doing,
Right.
because when it may come a time when I can't do nothing but raise my hand.
Yeah.
I hear you.
And if I forget everything that I've ever been taught, I know that God knows my name, and
That's
He
right.
won't forget.
He won't forget your
So
name.
Forget you're his.
this is what I love the Lord. I asked Him to guide me. I pray to Him in the morning times. I talk to Him. I trust Him. I trust Him. And this is what I tell people that are hurting. Call on God.
Yes.
Put God in your business.
Yes,
I told
yes.
a real OG friend of mine. I told him, I said, man, start putting God in your business. And I
Yes.
guarantee you
Yes.
things gonna be different.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes, it will be.
Amen.
Amen.
She has a poem. I want her to read this poem. Who am I?
Okay. This is for all those people that feel like they can't do it. If you can stand on a corner and be brave enough to sell drugs, if you can be rebellious and quit school, try this. Try walking down the hallways where everybody is trying to be better. You'll begin to feel out of place if you're not, if your
That's true.
mind is not.
That's true.
So, who am I? At first, I didn't know. I never considered myself smart. Intelligence was certainly used to describe anyone but me. Who was I? For it became so easy to not exist that I lived at the back of life, and ideas unexplored became hidden. Fear of being exposed as dumb, stupid, crazy, or just different. My voice quivered mentally and was kept unheard, but the silence reverberated so it shook the very walls I had imprisoned myself in. I knew there was more. There had to be. I could feel it. Even in my quietness now, I fear not, for it means that I'm thinking of the next obstacle I must successfully overcome, the next doubt I will dismiss, the next whatever. Who could I become? I wondered. I began to think. My isolation became too crowded, so I had to get out. The tears would fall like a torrential rain into puddles of dryness, and they still fall, but I am now able to use them as I write in pen without having to erase what was once pools of untapped resources. Now rivers of knowledge form, falling and spilling over like waterfalls of understanding into oceans of brilliance, creativity, and talent. I can do this. The hallways that once seemed like a maze of miles are not long enough nor wide enough for me to carry my confidence down. The rooms that once felt so huge I felt like a tiny speck of stupidity cannot hold the enthusiasm and freedom I eagerly exhibit. Who am I? I am a poet. I take consonants and vowels and build pyramids of hope. I am an artist, each word and paragraph painting beautiful portraits. I am the composer of words that have the ability to restore, singing out melodies you can't ignore. I am a writer. I can write a 5-page thesis in a single night and be seen carrying a backpack full of books the next morning up 6 flights. I can add to a problem or have a multiple of solutions. I know if I continually keep trying, subtracting any negative thought of giving up to the highest power, God, the sky is not a limit, but the height in which I wish to reach. The value of books and the intensity of learning is deeper than the Red Sea, for I fear not, so I can be me.
Will be you.
And that is where is the picture? This is a beautiful picture. If you could maybe pull this up to the screen here.
Raise it up a little.
Can you see it, Emmanuel? Okay, can you focus in on this? This is a beautiful picture that they put in with her poem, and it was in the TCC Rights, and they have a good little story about her in here, saying that she is a survivor.
Amen.
Amen.
And that is a survivor testimony.
Amen.
And I mean, you have people saying, "Hey, where's Stop 6 at?" You know, out here.
All right.
And,
East side,
comment.
don't they?
But the thing we want to share with you, from prison to portrait, wasn't that a beautiful
Yes.
Beautiful.
testimony?
Yes, it
All she
was.
did was change her P.
Amen.
Poetry, prison to poetry. And
Amen.
Royetta, you have really been a blessing to us
Yes, you
tonight
have.
An
on the
inspiration.
show. What an
I
inspiration. Go
just
ahead.
wanted to say your gift. Like the word
Yes.
says, that your gift
Yeah.
will make
Room
room
for
for
you.
you.
Right.
As
Yes.
you get in your gift.
Yes.
Not only will you get in those rooms, but you're going to open more doors.
Yes.
No matter what you're going through, get more into your gift.
Yes.
Get in your gift. That's you.
Yes.
That's
And
it.
are you producing? I mean, you publishing these poems?
Oh, well, honestly, I had sought help
Uh-huh.
and was kind of misled.
Okay.
So I'm just taking it slow, but I would love some
Help.
true
Okay.
help.
Okay.
You know, I don't have any room for playing.
Yeah, because
or
your
trying to
poems are
miss-
awesome.
trying-
Yeah,
I
your
have-
poems are
I
awesome.
have one that I want to do.
Okay.
Please, and
Yes.
I just came up with this about 2 years ago, and
Okay.
and I call it doodling, but I never went back and changed anything. And I had a professor to ask me, "You just wrote that straight out?" And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I call it doodling because it's notes. All this stuff is notes, you know.
Yeah.
But this is one that I have been asked to do
Okay.
for Black History and stuff.
Okay.
And it's just humans, souls, minds, and bodies raped, roped, and snatched from their lands. Kings of warriors, bravery and manhood, picked at like ticks, treated beneath rabid dogs but used up like wild buffalo. Queens of splendor that gave birth to prince and princesses, all held captive in the bowels of foreign vessels. No sun shine from backs bent, scrubbing the hopes, dreams, and freedom from the surface of bottomless pits of hatred. Crystal blue from paradise afar, now mingled with the stench and decay of royal blood. Chained, history erased, tribes castrated at the root, artificially inseminated into a culture already chained and noosed by themselves. And the more they've tried to wipe out our existence with pieces of discard and refuse, we only nourished and became stronger with the venom they'd fed us. Smiled, for we knew that we were and are true masters, and they had been enslaved in bitterness, ignorance, and inferiorities long before they saw the beauty in us that they could never acquire. And still to this day, the barking echoes loudly and the skeleton fingers tries to chop out our generation. Our footless tracks of innocence is being gunned down in pretense of justice. Knowledge is being withheld, but we survive and thrive, even with their disdain choking at us. So as they try to control,
Wow.
they cannot extinct us. The whips and chains that tries to whip flesh from my magnificence still cannot discolor us or the deep, sooted blackness of their hearts. For you see, we are children of God. Thank you.
Wow, that was awesome.
Nice.
We're going to have to use that poem there. Are there any other comments from our panelists?
Wonderful.
No, I just
Wonderful.
enjoyed it. I just
I've
enjoyed it.
enjoyed it. Yeah, your
One
life-
question I have, your grandmother, she's still alive?
No, she passed away 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
So
did
both
you
of
get
your
a
great-grandma-
chance?
Yes, yes.
And did you get a chance to, when you say when you was in prison, you said, grandmother, I want you to still be there when I get, so
Was
she
she
was.
there?
Yes, and that's another
All
reason.
right.
That's another reason why when I started teetering, if somebody upset me and I want to handle it in
You
remember grandmother.
You would think about grandmother.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
that's awesome.
Do you
That
have
is so
children?
awesome.
no, I don't.
You know, okay.
That's awesome. Well, we really have enjoyed your story.
Amen.
Really
Yes.
appreciate you
Amen.
being
Yes.
on the
It's
show.
wonderful.
And I'm pretty sure that you have really touched somebody's life.
Yes.
And that's what
Yeah.
we're all about, is bringing those that are not known. We want them to become known.
Amen.
So once again, Royetta Woodard, thank you for telling
Thank
your
you.
story.
Thank you.
May God continue to bless you, and we're definitely going to have you back on the
Thank
show
you.
just to see how you're doing. We want you to encourage yourself and keep writing those poems.
Yes.
And maybe some of these authors that's coming on the show or been on the show, if y'all know how she can publish these poems, please contact us and let us know so we can get her
Right.
poem published. Because
Right.
these are poems that need to be published.
I'm working on a
And,
kids book.
Good,
that-
kids book.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm gonna try to have it at least written out so I
Uh-huh.
can read to some kids that I volunteered for, and it's
Aw.
just the bully that wanted somebody to friend him.
Oh, a bully.
The bully that wanted a friend.
Wow.
Wow.
And you know, on that note, our next guest that's going to be on the show on April the 27th that's what she's talking about. What every adult needs to know about bullying, child bullying. Her name is Nola Parker. She's going to be our guest on the April 22nd show. So you all want to tune in for her story. We're trying to bring people on that can help us and help the world know what's out there, how they experience and how they have dealt with things that come up in their life. So, and I'm always meeting these people. I'm so glad I'm getting out there and about. So,
Amen.
Can I say this? And I may need to write this down because I don't want this to come out the wrong way.
okay.
Go on and write.
But
You and
I
that
just
kid.
want, if you know me, that's what I'll say. If you know me, I just want those that know me to put God in your business. Put God in your
Did you say
business.
there was a book
Pray to
called My
God.
Business or something?
That way, if you faithful and if you trust Him, when something go wrong, you can blame God. I mean,
Yeah.
if I may.
Because you know God
You know,
is gonna do.
He gonna take care of his
He gonna take
business.
care of his
Right.
business.
You know,
right.
sometimes I get frustrated and I
Yeah.
do just like this. And I'm doing, what's up? And I mean it just like that. What's up? Okay, Lord. Hey, okay. You want me in this class. Okay. What's going on up here? You know, come on, help me. And
then start coming to you. Because you invite him
Yeah.
in. I like
Okay.
that. What's up,
Yeah,
God?
what's up?
All right.
Right.
So we want to endorse her poetry.
All right.
Amen.
And we're going to pray for that. But again, like I said, on the next talk show, April 22nd, we will be having Nola Parker, so you all tune in. She's a publisher, author, veteran, an advocate against bullying, employment specialist, professional resume writer. She's going to come in and talk about bullying. And this is a topic that needs to be talked about because we have so many children that are committing suicide
Right.
because they are being bullied.
Right.
And they don't feel like they have, some of them may feel like they don't have no one to talk to. So that's a good thing that you are writing this so the kids can come and talk. Children, if you are going through something, please find somebody that you can talk to. Go to your parents. If they are not there, find somebody, ask God, get God into your life and ask him to show you. Talk to somebody. Your life means a lot. You don't have to commit suicide because you are being bullied. Tell somebody that you are being bullied. Go to your principal. Somebody need to know that you are being bullied. And that's what we're going to talk about. And I think she even going to talk about adults are being bullied. And I never thought about adults are
right.
being bullied.
Right.
Yes.
You know, I guess 'cause-
Mentally, physically?
Yes, I never thought about that. I guess because I'm from Kildare. I'll kill
they
one and dare it under tell it. So you can't bully me, okay?
And here you talking about stop six? Okay. Okay, you talking
I
about
didn't even
stop
know what
six?
stop six. You know, I've been in Fort Worth 36 years and I hear all these different places. I'm like, have I been to stop six or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. So
And that
we
east
give a
side.
shout out to
Yeah.
Stop Six. Anybody from Stop Six, you all need to put it on my at the bottom and share and say, I am from Stop Six, Kirkwood. Okay, all right. But again,
Avenue G.
Avenue. Oh, but I've been to Stop 6, girl. I've been to Avenue.
Now, we're not
G.
talking about the Avenue
Oh.
G that run in Pilot.
But I'm pretty sure.
You got to cross over
Look,
roads
I'm
there.
pretty sure if I'm riding with Linda, I done been to Top 6. Because she know all them back streets and all that stuff. Have we been to Stop 6?
Look,
Look.
Vince Sing.
Okay,
Yeah,
see,
they
Linda
call
tell
it,
me.
but look,
So
call
if
it. What they
anybody
call
been to
it?
Stop 6, I want you to put it at the bottom of the screen and say, hey, Elma, I've been to Stop 6. If
Shout
you're not
out.
ashamed,
East side,
give me a shout
don't
out
say
for
east
Stop
side.
6. All right, I just
East
want
side.
to
East side is,
announce our,
Over
where
on the
is it?
side
Here we
of
go.
Village Creek.
That's right.
Yeah, that's east.
Okay, y'all, look, what's coming up? Our wig conference, see? I want y'all to see, this is one of the wig stands that's gonna have a wig on it. It looks like Linda. It looks like me, it looks like Kim. We're all gonna be part of the wig conference. But I guarantee you, this wig stand is not going to look like this when you make it to the wig conference. Why? Because it's going to be decorated by my husband or my son. One of them are gonna fix a wig just
like
for
to see
you.
this.
Okay, so Royetta's gonna be. We may have one for you, Royetta. Okay, she's gonna be on the wig program as well.
all right.
So look, save the date so you can come and judge our wig stands. Okay, it's gonna be April the 24th, the 25th, and 26th, 7 p.m. nightly. Okay, and our theme is the confident woman. Now, this wig conference, which stands for Women in God, men, we want to invite you specially so you can see what a confident woman looks like. It will not look like this stand, okay? But you will really have strong women that's going to stand. So here are some of the women that's going to be on the program that's going to speak. We're going to have Carolyn Campbell.
Amen.
Kimberly Jeffrey, she's right here on the corner. We have Cynthia Batari, Danielle Rushing, Carolyn Daniel, Linda Smiley down there, and your lovable Elma Kirkwood. And Royetta is going to do poetry. So you heard her poetry tonight. You don't want to miss what she's going to say about this women in God. So you all do not want to miss this. Tell somebody about it. We're going to have a Women in God march. We need confident women. If you feel that you are a confident woman, you need to come and take part of this march. So come on out, save the date again. It's April the 24th, 25th, 26th. There is no cost, so don't worry about saying, oh, it's $10. No, it's no cost. We will be taking up a love offering, but still, that's a God. God, when he tells something, we stand on his word. He will provide. So I don't want you to miss it because you're saying all these conferences cost money. No. This one, hey, God is paying for it. So just come on in. And at the conference, we're going to have the Kirk booth. Okay? So you don't want to miss this. The Kirk booth. I mean, hey, you talking about take some beautiful pictures. So y'all bring y'all $5 donation and come on in and take you some beautiful pictures.
The perfect addition to your next event. Book us now, the Kirk Booth. We bring the life to the party. From corporate events to weddings to birthdays and much more, we've done it all. Packages include unlimited photo printing, unlimited text messaging,
a job fair, a corporate event. I mean, a quinceañera, whatever is out there. If you want to have a family reunion and you want beautiful memories, please book the Kirk booth. The CEO in honor is my son, Emmanuel Kirkwood, who is the producer of our Talk of Life talk show. Hey, I guarantee you, your memories will never be forgotten because you use the Kirk booth. All right, so don't forget to look us up if you're looking for a church home where you can come as you are, but I guarantee you will not leave the same. Attend the Church Within International Ministry, where myself and my husband are the pastors and leaders, and we're led by God. We meet at the American Legion Hall, 1250 Mansfield Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas, 76104. Sunday morning Sunday school service starts at 10 a.m. and our morning praise and worship start at 11:15. And one thing about this church, we start on time. So don't forget, come as you are, but I guarantee you will not leave the same. don't forget,
Yes.
one last advertisement. If you're looking to go back to school, we have a dynamic school called the A+ School of Phlebotomy. It's very reasonable. You can contact the CEO, Alicia White, at 817-948-0373. If you can't remember that, you can always contact me on the Talk of Life talk show, Elma. You can messenger me at Elma Kirkwood, and I can give you that information. And I guarantee you, you will become one of the best needle stickers. You won't even know that you've been stuck. So, hey, look up Alicia White at the A+ Phlebotomy School, and she will love. She just graduated class. I think she started one today. Hey, she'll get you in that class and get you a good job. If nothing else, save the date for April the 22nd. And remember, our guest again is going to be Nola Parker. And then the following, the second Monday in May, we're going to have Cece Diamond, I call her Diamond, and she's going to talk about how you need to dress as being a Christian, right? Is that something? Yes. And she wants you to be able to cover up.
Posh, yes.
Is it P.O.?
POS.
P.O. Doctor?
Well, that's just the name of the book.
Okay.
But it's CC.
CC. But anyway, she's going to be on the show, and she's going to also be at the WIG conference. So thank you all. May God bless you, Royetta. We enjoyed you being on the show. We love you, Facebook. We love you, YouTube. Please sign up and subscribe to YouTube so that you can be a part of our YouTube family. And to our audience, we love you. And may God bless you until we see you on April the 27th.